There is a beautiful truth that many of us overlook in our journey toward love, success, peace, or abundance. We chase, we beg, we plead with the universe. But what if I told you the very act of chasing is what keeps your desire away? Today, I invite you to gently release the grip, to step into the soft knowing that you don't have to get anything. You only need to allow it, because the moment you stop trying so hard to grasp it is the very moment it flows effortlessly into your life. So many times, we find ourselves gripped by the ache of wanting. We carry around this tight, heavy feeling in our chest, this longing for something that seems just out of reach. We believe that if we want it hard enough, if we think about it constantly, if we chase it every waking moment, it will eventually come to us. But the truth is, when we cling too tightly, we actually push it further away. Desperation is not a signal to the universe that we are ready. It is a signal that we believe we are lacking. And the universe always responds to the energy we carry, not the words we speak. When we move through life with the energy of, I don't have this, I need this, I can't be happy without this, we unknowingly create more situations that mirror that very belief. It's not punishment, it's reflection. The outer world reflects the inner truth. When we are desperate, we're telling ourselves a story. A painful one, we're saying, I am incomplete. I am not enough until this thing happens. Whether it's love, money, success, or healing, that belief of lack becomes the dominant vibration we emit. And what we vibrate, we attract. We cannot receive peace when we are frantic inside. We cannot receive abundance when we believe in scarcity. And we cannot receive love when we are begging for it instead of radiating it from within. Letting go of desperation begins with a gentle surrender. It's not about giving up your desires. It's about trusting that you don't need to chase them. It's about stepping into the truth that everything you desire is already making its way to you, but it can only arrive when the door is open, not when it's blocked by fear and tension. Desperation is a tight grip. It says, if I don't hold on to this, I will lose it. But the things meant for you don't need to be clung to. What is yours cannot be taken from you, and what is not yours cannot be forced to stay. There is great peace in releasing that grasp. There is a quiet power in saying, I trust that what's meant for me will come. And when you say it, not just with words, but with your heart, with your energy, with your body, you shift everything. You shift from panic to peace, from fear to faith, from forcing to allowing. You become magnetic, not because you're trying to attract, but because you've stopped resisting. Desperation always stems from fear. Fear that we are not enough. Fear that we will miss out. Fear that we are running out of time. But those fears are not rooted in truth. They are echoes of old stories, old wounds, and old conditioning. You are allowed to let go of those stories now. You are allowed to rewrite them. You are allowed to breathe easier. You are allowed to trust that life is unfolding for you, not against you. When we drop the desperation, we begin to operate from a deeper knowing, a knowing that says, I am already whole. Everything I need is within me. And from that space of inner fullness, we begin to draw in the people, the opportunities, and the experiences that match our calm, steady belief in ourselves. We no longer chase love because we know we are lovable. We no longer beg for money because we believe in our ability to create it. We no longer fear time because we understand that divine timing is always on our side. Letting go of desperation is not about pretending you don't care. It's about detaching from the need to control. It's about releasing the frantic energy and replacing it with ease. You can still want things. You can still have dreams. But now you move with faith, not fear. Now you move with trust, not tension. You know that the universe responds best to an open heart, not a clenched fist. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything. Everything you've ever asked for is finding its way to you, in the right form, at the right time, in the right way. All you need to do is open your arms, soften your heart, and trust. So take a deep breath. Release the pressure. You are not meant to suffer in waiting. You are meant to rest in knowing. Say to yourself, gently and often, I am no longer desperate. I am ready to receive. Because when you stop trying so hard to get it, you finally make space for it to come. Wanting is rooted in the idea that something is missing. It comes from a place of lack, a place where we look at our lives and say, this is not enough. I am not enough until I get what I want. But the truth is, the moment we become consumed by wanting, we send out a powerful message to life itself that we do not have and therefore we cannot receive. There is a soft but profound shift that changes everything. Moving from wanting into receiving. Wanting feels like chasing, like striving, like longing. Receiving feels like opening, trusting, allowing. Wanting says, I need this to feel complete. Receiving says, I am already whole, and what is meant for me flows to me easily. You see, receiving is not about doing more. It's about being more. Being more at peace, being more aligned, being more connected to the energy of already having. Because the energy of receiving begins with inner belief. When you believe you are ready, you begin to align with what you once thought you had to chase. Think of a radio. If you want to hear a certain song, you must tune into the correct frequency. Wanting is like turning the dial, but never quite landing on the right station. You can hear the static. You can sense that something is near, but it doesn't come clearly. Receiving is when you've tuned in fully. The signal is strong. You're no longer reaching. You're allowing yourself to hear the music that was always there. So many of us walk around with hearts full of desire, but minds full of doubt. We want to be loved, but deep down we question if we're lovable. We want success, but silently we carry fears of failure. We want peace, but we replay old chaos in our thoughts. That disconnect keeps us in a loop of wanting, never quite arriving. Receiving means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the version of yourself who already has what you desire. It's a powerful declaration to the universe. I am available. I am open. I trust that what is mine will come. This shift requires letting go of timelines. It means no longer saying, I need it now, but instead, I trust the timing of my life. It means no longer asking, why hasn't it happened yet? But affirming, it is already on its way to me. The universe responds not to what you want, but to what you believe. Wanting comes with resistance. It holds an energy of pushing, of grasping, of fear that it may not happen. Receiving, on the other hand, is a surrender. It's not passive. It's powerful. It is a quiet confidence that knows, I don't need to force anything. I simply need to prepare my heart to welcome it. So how do you shift from wanting to receiving? Start by noticing the way you speak to yourself. Are your thoughts filled with phrases like, I'll be happy when, or why don't I have this yet? If so, pause and replace them. Begin to affirm, I am already whole. I trust in divine timing. Everything I need is finding me now. Let your language reflect the energy of trust. Let your daily actions reflect belief, not desperation. Instead of searching constantly, begin to embody the feeling of already having. Want love. Be love. Speak with kindness. Care for yourself. Want abundance. Live with gratitude for what you already have. Honor every penny. Celebrate small wins. Want peace. Practice stillness. Choose thoughts that calm rather than agitate. Receiving is a state of being. It's soft and magnetic. It doesn't shout or struggle. It quietly opens its arms and says, Wes, I'm ready. You become a match to your desires when you stop chasing them and start becoming the person who naturally attracts them. There is no rush. There is no race. You are not behind. Nothing is withheld from you except by your own belief that it isn't possible. When you release that belief, when you choose to feel worthy now, complete now, abundant now, everything begins to flow differently. You were never meant to beg for what's yours. You were never meant to exhaust yourself trying to prove your value. You are here to remember your power, to realign with the truth of who you are, and to live from a place of faith. You don't need to want so desperately anymore. You can stop reaching. You can stop pushing. Instead, you can take a deep breath, soften your heart, and whisper to the universe, I am ready to receive. Because once you make that shift, once you stop trying to get and start choosing to allow, you begin to notice that what you were seeking has been trying to reach you all along. There comes a point in your life when you must pause and ask yourself a very important question. Why am I chasing this so hard? Is it because I truly desire it from my heart? Or is it because I believe that without it, I am somehow incomplete? We live in a world that teaches us from an early age that we must prove ourselves, that we must achieve certain things to be valuable, that our worth depends on what we have, who chooses us, how much we earn, or how many goals we can check off our list. But this is an illusion, a painful one, because when your worth is tied to your achievements or to external validation, you will never feel enough. You will always feel like you're running after something to fill a void that was never meant to be filled from the outside. You are not here to chase approval. You are not here to chase love. You are not here to chase money, success, or attention just to feel worthy. You are already worthy. Worth is not something you earn. It is something you remember. It's not out there. It's within you. The more you chase, the more you affirm to yourself that you are lacking. And that creates an energy of fear, of scarcity, of not being whole. It's like running after your reflection, hoping that if you just move faster, it will eventually turn around and embrace you. But it never can, because it is already you. Let that truth settle gently into your heart. You are already enough. Right now, before the goal is achieved, before the person calls you back, before the promotion, before the money arrives, before the dream comes true, you are already enough. And when you believe that, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing. You stop proving. You stop bending, shrinking, or stretching yourself just to be accepted. You begin to rest in your worth instead of running for it. You begin to walk with a quieter confidence, a softer strength, a deeper peace. When your worth is internal, not external, you no longer beg for crumbs. You no longer tolerate relationships or jobs or situations that make you feel small. You no longer trade your truth for temporary approval. Because you know, I am the prize, I am the value. I don't have to run after anything. What aligns with my worth will find me. It is a powerful shift, one that changes not just how you feel, but what you attract. Because the world mirrors back to you what you believe about yourself. When you walk around thinking, I need this person to choose me so I can feel worthy, you give your power away. But when you say, I already choose myself, and those who see my value are welcome to join me, the entire frequency changes. You become a magnet for respect, for love, for honor, for all the things you once thought you had to chase. You were never meant to exhaust yourself trying to earn your place in this world. You were meant to stand tall in your own knowing. You were meant to feel safe inside your own heart. You were meant to remember that your existence alone is proof of your value. Pause and reflect. How many times have you measured your worth based on what someone else thinks of you? How often have you let rejection define you, or failure make you feel unworthy? These moments do not speak truth about you. They only reveal where you've forgotten who you are. Even when you are doubted, even when you are overlooked, even when things don't go your way, your worth remains intact. It is not diminished by delay, by mistakes, or by someone's inability to see you clearly. Their inability to recognize your light does not make it any less bright. Stop chasing things to prove yourself. You have nothing to prove. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not missing anything. You are becoming more of who you truly are, and that is more than enough. Take a breath. Release the need to perform. You don't need to hustle for your value. You are allowed to rest in it. You are allowed to sit in the quiet knowing that you are lovable, valuable, and whole exactly as you are. From that space of inner worth, everything shifts. You begin to attract what matches your energy, not your effort. You begin to manifest from belief, not from lack. And most importantly, you begin to feel peace. Not because you got what you wanted, but because you finally remembered that you were always complete. You don't have to run anymore. You can stop now. Sit. Be still. And know that who you are, without the chase, is already enough. There is a quiet rhythm to the universe, a natural flow that guides all things into balance and harmony. It does not force. It does not rush, is not strain. It simply moves, gently, intelligently, with divine purpose. And when we align ourselves with that ease, life begins to unfold in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. But we have been taught otherwise. We have been told to push harder, try more, fight for our place, earn every drop of love, success, or peace. We have come to believe that struggle is noble, that suffering makes us worthy, that exhaustion is a badge of honor. Yet deep down, we know this doesn't feel right. We know it hurts. We know it leaves us tired, anxious, and still somehow empty. The truth is, the universe does not respond to tension. It responds to trust. It responds not to force, but to flow. When we are in a state of ease, we are saying to life itself, I trust you. I trust the process. I believe in divine timing. I know that I don't have to fight for what is already meant for me. And in that surrender, in that softness, something extraordinary happens. Life begins to meet us exactly where we are. Ease is not laziness. It is not passivity. It is not giving up. It is the highest form of alignment. It is the knowing that your energy is more important than your effort, that your belief is more powerful than your business. When you move with ease, you allow things to come naturally rather than trying to control every outcome. Think of the ocean. Waves do not rush to the shore. They flow. They know they will get there. Think of a flower. It does not force itself to bloom. It unfolds in its own time, nourished by trust in the soil, the sunlight, the unseen forces that guide its growth. You are no different. You are not meant to force your life into shape. You were meant to trust that the shape is already forming, perfectly, precisely, and always on time. When we are constantly forcing, we are telling the universe we don't believe. We are sending the signal, if I don't do it all myself, it won't happen. But when we lean into ease, we say instead, I do my part and I let the rest unfold. That is when doors begin to open. That is when opportunities arise, connections align, and the path becomes clear. Not because you chased it, but because you allowed it. Ease brings clarity. In the silence, in the stillness, we hear the guidance we've been too busy to notice. We feel the gentle nudge of our intuition. We see signs we once missed. When we stop striving, we start receiving. And what we receive is often greater than what we were trying so hard to create on our own. Let go of the belief that things must be hard to be worth it. You don't have to suffer for your blessings. You don't have to earn your peace. You don't have to prove yourself through pain. You are allowed to have a life that feels good. You are allowed to have joy that comes easily. You are allowed to let it be simple. This doesn't mean you won't take action. It means your actions will come from inspiration, not desperation. From alignment, not anxiety. From clarity, not confusion. You will be moved, not driven. Guided, not pushed. Pay attention to how things feel. If something constantly drains you, depletes you, weighs you down, it may not be in alignment with your path. If something feels light, energetical, even if it challenges you, that's ease. That's flow. That's your sign to keep going in that direction. Ease is a vibration. It's not just a concept, it's a feeling. It's peace in your body. It's trust in your soul. It's waking up in the morning and saying, I am open to all that is meant for me, and I don't have to struggle to receive it, and the universe listens. It always listens. It responds to your openness, your trust, your inner calm. When you let go of resistance, you stop swimming against the current. You allow yourself to be carried, and life, which has always wanted to support you, finally has space to do so. Take a breath. Let the tension melt away. You are safe to stop forcing. You are safe to trust. You are safe to move with ease. Because the more you relax, the more you receive. And the universe, kind, wise, and abundant, always responds to ease. There is a quiet magic in the simple act of saying thank you. Not just when things go your way, not just when your prayers are answered, but especially when life is still unfolding, when the desire has not yet arrived, when the path is still unclear, when the waiting stretches longer than expected. Gratitude is not about ignoring what you want. It's about becoming energetically aligned with the truth that you are already blessed, already supported, already surrounded by miracles, even if you can't yet see them with your eyes. Gratitude changes everything. It is one of the highest vibrations we can embody. And when you live from that space, you become magnetic. Not in a forceful or dramatic way, but in a gentle, powerful way that calls in more of what you appreciate. The universe listens to energy more than words. And when you feel genuinely grateful for what you already have, you are saying to life, I am ready to receive more. Most people wait until things are perfect before they feel thankful. They wait until the relationship arrives, until the bank account fills up, until the dream job is offered. But the real shift happens when you stop waiting, when you start appreciating what is here now, because that appreciation sends out a signal. I already feel rich. I already feel loved. I already feel supported. And the universe, responding to that vibration, says, yes, more of that. Gratitude is the gateway to abundance. It opens your heart, softens your energy, and clears your vision. It helps you see blessings where you once saw burdens. It transforms delays into divine timing. It turns small moments into sacred ones. When you begin to appreciate life, not just for the big victories, but for the ordinary gifts, you start to notice how deeply taken care of you really are. You woke up today. You took a breath. You were given another chance to grow, to heal, to start again. That alone is a miracle. There is air in your lungs. There is potential in your soul. There is beauty in your presence. When you begin your day with that kind of awareness, your energy becomes a magnet for even more beauty to enter your life. This is not just about being polite. It's not about repeating words that sound nice. Gratitude must be felt. It must be breathed into your body, carried in your tone, lived in your thoughts. It is a presence you wear, a lens through which you see everything around you. It is saying, I may not have all I want yet, but I am so deeply grateful for what I do have. And that makes you powerful. The energy of gratitude melts resistance. It calms the nervous system. It creates space for miracles. It invites you to be present, and from presence, all things are possible. You don't need to control so much when you're grateful. You don't need to cling so tightly. Gratitude says, I trust that I'm on the right path. I trust that what I have is enough for now, and that what I need is on the way. Even in pain, you can find something to be grateful for. The lesson, the resilience you've gained, the support you didn't notice before. Gratitude doesn't require perfection, it only asks for perspective. And when you shift your perspective, your world begins to change. Right? Say it out loud. Feel it in your heart. Thank your body for carrying you, even on the hard days. Thank your mind for learning and growing. Thank your past for teaching you, even if the lessons were difficult. Thank the people who have loved you, and yes, even the ones who didn't, for showing you what you truly deserve. Gratitude is a form of self-love. It says, I honor my journey. I honor what has brought me here. I choose to see the good, even when life doesn't go according to my plan. That kind of energy radiates. It reaches out beyond you. It affects your relationships, your work, your health, your finances. Because when you are thankful, you are open. And when you are open, you are magnetic. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to pretend everything is perfect. But in every moment, you can find one thing, just one, to be grateful for. And that one thing can change your energy. That shift in energy can change your life. Let your gratitude be your prayer. Let it be your foundation. Let it be the light you carry into each new day. Not because everything is perfect, but because you choose to see the perfection in what already is. And in doing so, you become a beacon for even more good to come your way. There is a deep, powerful shift that takes place in your life when you stop forcing and begin to flow. You no longer push against life with tension, fear, or urgency. Instead, you become aligned with the natural rhythm of the universe, allowing life to unfold with grace and harmony. You are not meant to control every detail. You are meant to trust, and when you trust, life flows through you, not against you. Forcing comes from fear. It comes from the false belief that if you don't try hard enough, manipulate enough, or strive endlessly, you won't receive what you desire. This mindset is rooted in lack. It is rooted in the idea that life must be conquered rather than lived. Forcing feels tight, anxious, exhausting. It disconnects you from the infinite wisdom that already knows what is best for you. But flowing is different. Flowing is rooted in trust. It is a quiet, sacred knowing that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. Flowing is a state of allowing, not giving up, but giving in to the wisdom of divine timing. When you begin to flow, you no longer chase, you attract. You no longer beg, you receive. You no longer doubt, you believe. Let this be the moment you release the pressure to prove, to push, to force outcomes. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind soften. There is nothing to chase. There is only alignment. And the more you align with peace, love, and inner stillness, the more the universe mirrors that energy back to you. So many of us have been conditioned to believe that struggle equals success. We think that if we're not constantly moving, grinding, or striving, we're falling behind. But the truth is, most of the time, it's the struggle that keeps our blessings away. Struggle comes from the ego, flow comes from the soul. And your soul doesn't need to hustle to be worthy. Your soul only needs to be heard. When you stop forcing, you create space for the miracles to arrive. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you give the universe permission to surprise you. There is a rhythm and intelligence to life that your mind cannot comprehend. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually divine protection. Sometimes What feels like a detour is actually a doorway to something far greater. You don't need to force love. When it's real, it flows to you. You don't need to force success. When you are in alignment with your purpose, success is drawn to you. You don't need to force healing. Your body and spirit know how to return to balance when you stop resisting and start allowing. The universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to faith. It responds to ease. When you embody ease, you become magnetic. You radiate a calm confidence that draws everything you desire toward you effortlessly. You no longer need to scream for attention, approval, or love. You simply be, and that is enough. This shift requires patience. It requires unlearning old habits and rewriting old beliefs. It requires sitting in stillness and reminding yourself again and again that you are safe. You are guided. You are supported. Even when it doesn't look like it. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Start small. Begin your days with a few moments of silence. Release. Affirm, I no longer force anything. I flow with the divine current of life. I trust that what is meant for me is already on its way. Watch how your energy shifts when you say these words. Watch how life begins to soften when you do. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to carry everyone. You don't have to have all the answers. Life is not a problem to be solved. It is a mystery to be lived. And the more you surrender to that mystery, the more peace you'll find within yourself. There is a season for everything. A time to plant, a time to water, and time to wait, and a time to bloom. Forcing rushes the process, flowing honors it. Forcing demands, flowing listens. Forcing holds on, flowing lets go. Let go now. Let go of the grip you've had on what must happen, when it must happen, and how it must unfold. Let go of the belief that more effort always means more results. Let go of the fear that says, if you don't do it all, it won't get done. Rest in the knowing that life is always working in your favor, even when you can't see it. In this space of flow, life becomes lighter, brighter, more beautiful. You begin to notice signs, synchronicities, and support all around you. You realize you were never alone. You were never forgotten. You were simply being guided, gently, patiently, toward the version of your life that your soul has always known as possible. Stop forcing, start flowing, and let the universe carry you home.